December 4th, and we are going to make Italian sand cookies, which I found on the internet through a Pinterest site. I'm going to try and cut this video down, but in here we have half a cup of butter, which is a stick, half cup of Crisco, and we have 3/4 cup powdered sugar and 1/4 cup granulated sugar, and we're going to beat it up. The rest of my ingredients, which was eggs and vanilla and cornstarch and flour, and what I've figured out is that my dough kind of looks like a cake batter, almost like a cross between cookie dough and cake batter. And since we're throwing this through a star tip, I need a little thicker. I think the problem is I use jumbo eggs. I don't normally buy jumbo eggs, but it does make a difference. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour here to get the consistency what I need it to be. Better consistency now. Not that I've made these before, but we're going to find out. The dough isn't as runny and can hold some shape to it, which is what you want, at least what I think I want. And then I added, well, I added about, I'm going to estimate about 1/3 of a cup more of flour just to compensate for those eggs. And I'm going to throw it through a star tip now. I like to use the big ones because I've learned from past cookie experiences when you use the small ones, you end up with carpal tunnel. So we don't need that. My bag and my large star tip. This is not expensive. You can buy a package of, I want to say 20 plastic Wilton bags at your favorite craft store. And I don't remember how much I paid. It wasn't a lot because I'm kind of cheap. And then the coupler to go with it and the large star tip. And I find I use this a lot more than I ever thought I would. So you can still use the small one, but like I said, your hands are going to hurt after a while. And to fill the bag, I usually just get a glass and stand it up. So it gives you a nice big opening there. And this is hard to do one-handed, but you would take your batter and plop it in. I had to anchor down my parchment paper with a couple of rosettes. There's probably a lot of different ways to do this. I just kind of go in, give it a swirl, and then cut it off and go to the next one. I like to do probably a dozen per sheet. Just piping them. One of them I got 15 on. The other one I got 12, and if you've noticed, there's a couple different ways I did it. I did it around, or I also did some where I went up in the middle. Just find a technique that works for you. I've found over the years my piping's gotten a lot better, but hey, whether it looks like this or not, it's gonna taste the same whether it's pretty or not pretty. I'm out of the oven, and I've melted some chocolate chips with a little bit of coconut oil, so it's a good consistency here. Dipping them halfway, and then my lovely assistant is putting the sprinkles on them for me.